Well, on Clips and Quips, a man who didn't get the food he ordered says he thought the matter was an emergency. Police do not. Lorenzo Riggins says he ordered 7 McDoubles, 1 chicken, and 1 fry. He was hungry at the McDonald's in Albany, New York. Well, after he walked out, he noticed that wasn't what he got. The order was short 1 burger. A discussion with the manager turned heated, and Riggins threatened to call police. That's what he finally did, but the result wasn't what he expected. He was arrested and charged with violation of emergency 911 telephone use. Riggins has some new advice. Check your food before you leave, and if there's a problem, don't call 911.
Genius right there.
Imagine that. This is all over, what, $2 worth of food?
Yeah, it can probably be frustrating if you've waited in the drive-through line and then, you know, you don't get what you want.
Frustrating enough to be able to call 911.
Not to call 911. I didn't know that you could get arrested for that.
No.
Well,
now we do.
If you are that upset, call McDonald's themselves, say that, and, you know, maybe they'll send you something or...
It's a lot of the way you approach those things.
Yes.
It makes a big difference.
He should have been arrested. I think they were
You think
correct.
so?
Well, yeah, don't call 911 for a missing burger.
Well, no, I'm not advising that. Here's the baseball video worth checking out. At Wrigley Field, the Dodgers' Adrian Gonzalez lifts a fly ball down the line to left, and the Cubs' Junior Lake sprints over, makes an amazing catch. Bang! Well, the wall is padded, but there are bricks behind that padding, and they can only soften the blow so much. Lake...
he took that like a champ.
He did. Lake said he was okay, and he stayed in the game.
That poor kid was so close to getting the ball, too.
Oh,
Jumped right up.
That poor kid. I think in Chicago, they're all a little hesitant to reach over the railing.
Making sure his ribs are still
well, in the
there.
old days, they didn't have padding. The Cardinals got an old player, Minnie Minoso, many years ago. He'd been a star for the White Sox.
Yeah.
And he ran over and made this spectacular catch and ran into a girder at the old Sportsman's Park. And Minnie that was about the end of Minnie.
Did he put him in a gurney?
I don't know. He was never
They were a lot tougher back then. He probably finished out the game, then walked home.
Yeah,
Probably.
That's it.
Skateboarders don't wear padding either.
Okay.
That's rough.
That's right. That's coming up. It says hard landing here. Brazilian Bob Burnquist, who has the most medals in X Game history on the mega ramp, goes skyward, but the landing isn't what was planned. He slams into the ramp face first. Burnquist was helped off the ramp with an apparent broken nose, but he did continue on in the competition and took home the bronze. Don't know if he walked home.
Cool.
Yeah, that's scary. They know that that's possible, though, when you become...
Yeah, I think, you know what, those guys are probably more embarrassed with that landing than the feeling that... We've all been more embarrassed than the actual hurt sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I remember one time trying to ride my bike without my hands and trying to impress a cousin, an older cousin. I fell flat on my face. I wasn't hurt, but I was just mortified.
Yes.
Opposite of what you wanted.
But you almost pretend to be hurt because you don't want people to know.
And now Megan is afraid of bikes.
That was when I was little. Thank you. I haven't ridden one since.
Another check of the forecast.
Well, Albuquerque, New Mexico's transit agency has released video of a stunning attack on a city bus. A man is seen getting on the bus, walking up to the driver, and smashing him in the face. It also shows 2 people who didn't think twice about jumping into action and capturing the suspect. The video shows the assailant shouting at the driver, then storming off. The bus driver points to his attacker, and 2 passengers then take action. You can see them leave the bus and chase down the man. The driver told police the assailant and his wife were recently escorted off the bus because they refused to leave. The guy with a rock is charged with aggravated battery with the deadly weapon. The bus driver is okay, but he had to get stitches above his eye.
Well, that's insane.
Yeah.
Somebody...
Uncalled for, I would say.
Got angry.
Not the way to handle situations.
No.
There's a lot of examples of that today, just like the drive-through guy.
Yes.
They called 911.
People out of control. Well, an alpine peak in Austria has the new attraction. It's not for anyone who gets out of control, not for the faint of heart.
Megan.
It's a suspension bridge. This is unlike any other. The freshly inaugurated suspension bridge near the town of Schmadling leads to 14 steps down a cliff, ending in a glass platform that highlights vertigo-inducing views of the mountain landscape below. The stairway to
Look
nothingness.
at all that fog.
Yes.
How's your stomach feeling about now?
Not a chance.
This is for visitors with nerves of steel. Their reward is pure freedom of hovering above a 1,300-foot drop while
That's not
taking
pure
in these
freedom.
I think it looks
landscape.
great, but I bet I'd end up crawling across it.
I'd end up crying.
It'd be
and asking
terrifying.
to be brought down.
You're not supposed to balance along the edge, though. They don't want you to do that.
Don't lean
I'd
over
be
it.
like
No
clutching
leaning.
the rocks on the
Considering
side.
for over the edge, what were we, like 8 stories up?
13, I
Were we
think.
13?
I think somebody told
Were we
me.
actually 13?
Somebody told me it
And
was only
she-
like 3,
Yeah,
and then
she
I got
was
there.
losing it.
Okay, you know, I feared
You can
for
see
my
the
life.
video on YouTube of
People are afraid of heights.
One more time. You could be like splat on the ground.
You'd just be really injured.
Moving on, probably in the courtroom in Tampa, Florida, a prisoner waiting in front of the judge decides to make a run for it. Apparently, he's
Smart.
seen too many movies. He tries to grab a deputy's gun out of his holster. Authorities say it's rare for someone to be this bold, or you might say not just bold, but not very intelligent, especially with 4 deputies nearby. Because court cameras are rolling, they caught the whole thing on tape, which will make it extremely easy to prosecute and substantially add to any sentence 24-year-old Robert Bridges was about to receive.
He's in a lot more trouble now.
Yeah. He must watch
Where'd
those
it go?
marathons of Law & Order SVU on Sundays because
Those shows
that
make it
happens
look
in the
seem
courtroom there.
So easy.
Well, they may have his story in a few years.
But at the same time, though, we're talking about that story and how, you know, dumb it seems. But that one guy got out of jail the other day and he just hopped through the window at the jail while
he'll
the
be
guards were
back.
still there.
He'll be back.
That's true.
After the break, we'll see who's celebrating a birthday in the heart of Missouri.
And we'll list off more things Megan's afraid of. 6:20, you're watching KRCG 13 live at sunrise.